In 2015, Bachmann dived into the HON38/009 market by releasing Skarloey in their Thomas range, along with some appropriate wagons to go with them. Since then, they have added onto the range by adding more characters and wagons. Today, I will be taking a look at their most recent character, everyone's favorite green 042, Peter Sam. I am extremely relieved to tell you that the narrow gauge models from the Thomas range do not come in the agonizing blister packaging like their HO standard gauge counterparts. Instead, they come in a more standard cardboard box with flaps like a more standard model you would purchase anywhere else. If I had to guess as to why they let the narrow gauge engines have a more professional box, it would probably be because they are more highly detailed, but more on that later. Let's cut the chase and take a look at the Peter Sam model. Obviously, if you're a fan of the show and have any knowledge on the character's design history, you will notice right away that the Bachmann Peter Sam is based on the CGI design of the character. And if you take that into consideration, it's easy to say that he is dead accurate. The face is perfect, the way the shell is designed seems to match up with the CGI counterpart, and he even has a skinnier Giesel funnel like in the CGI series, which in turn is way more accurate to both the Railway series and how the funnel looked in real life, as opposed to how it looked in the model series. Admittedly, I do prefer the Season 4 face, so at some point I would like to add a 3D printed face to my model to reflect that, but I did want to review how the model looks out of the box. I should also mention a little background before I get into what I want to bring up next. Most of the Bachmann Skarloey railway engines have been dead on accurate to the real life counterparts on the Tallinn Railway, to the point where all you would have to do on some of them is pop off the face, repaint them, and away you go. In fact, Bachmann themselves seem to have realized this because they are releasing ready-to-run models of Tallinn reusing Skarloey's tooling later this year. But Peter Sam, however, has something that sets him back from this. There is a huge slab underneath his boiler. This is accurate to the CGI series, but not in real life, as the tattoo class has a notable hole between the frame and the boiler. This has bothered some H130/009 modelers, as this makes it more difficult to do an accurate conversion over to Peter Sam's basis. But here's my stance on it. If you take out the shell, you can obviously see where the motor and mechanism goes. If Bachmann hadn't filled in this slab, you would be able to see all that. And would that look professional? The good news is, there is a conversion kit available, so if you want a more accurate tattoo class, you can buy one of these and make the conversion. Or, you can also paint the slab black so it will be harder to notice. It may not be as accurate to the tattoo class as one would hope, but since Bachmann was using the CGI design of Peter Sam, not the real life counterparts, as a reference for this model, I'd say they nailed it in that regard. A couple of things I want to bring up about Peter Sam's performance. While designing him, Bachmann powered his trailing truck so that he would have an easier time running over switches or dead spots on the track. However, when I first ran him, that didn't always work since any sort of dirty track would cause him to stop. Here's my strongest advice to anyone who's thinking about buying him. Clean his wheels before you start running him. You will be very thankful for doing so in the long run. Apart from that, he runs very smoothly. As a matter of fact, he seems to perform better than some of the HO standard gauge models. It's also worth noting that unlike the HO standard gauge models, he and the other narrow gauge characters did not have moving eyes. However, this may be a good thing in some people's eyes. His shell is made of die cast, which helps give him some weight, and have more traction. My only major gripe with the performance, other than its difficulty on dirty track, is the plastic side rods. I really don't know why Bachmann did this, as surely metal side rods would be more durable and perform better. I've heard that some people have gotten their models with bent side rods as a result of this. They do the same thing on Skarloey and Reneus too, and I can't help but think that this is really cheap and can be distracting from how beautifully detailed the models are otherwise. However, these are the only two issues I have. As long as you're careful and keep the wheels clean, he should run fine. The Bachmann Peter Sam currently retails for $169 as of the making of this video, but you can get him at Train World for only $95. In the past, I've expressed my disdain for the increasing MSRPs for the Bachmann Taz and Friends models, but this time I will make an exception. Why? Because the narrow gauge characters have a great amount of detail, their shells are made out of die cast, and they run a lot better than their HO standard gauge counterparts due to the fact that they don't have the moving eye mechanism. However, I do still recommend getting him from Train World. That way, you can save as much money as possible. I think I will give the Bachmann Peter Sam a 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend him if you plan to build a 009/HON30 roster or trying to collect the entire Skarloey railway fleet. You will fall in love with him.